reflecting off her eyes, under the stars, feeling so alive. Living up, race till the moon glows bright. Tires squeal, cheating on the edge of night. My girl laughing, this is our time. Heartbeat fast in this drag race ride. Hail, hamburgers, milkshakes, jukebox blues, electric guitar playing lost in the cues. A Monica wailing, breaking the silence, love and speed and perfect alliance. Got the classic gleam, greased hair, back blue, living the dream. Cherry red leather got the classic gleam, green on whites blazing in the dream. Cherry red leather got that classic gleam, greased hair, back blue, living the dream. Cherry red leather got the classic gleam, green on whites blazing in the dream. Rev it up, race till the moon glows bright. Tires squeal, cheating on the edge of night. My girl laughing, this is our time. Heartbeat fast in this drag race ride. Hail, hamburgers, milkshakes, jukebox blues, electric guitar playing lost in the cue. A Monica wailing, breaking the silence, love and speed and perfect alliance. I'm the perfect fast in this drag race ride.
Dropped up, it's buzzing, neon light. My girl by my side feels right. Hot rods roaring, engines tight. Saturday night, shining bright. Rolling through the diner real slow. Grease on our jean shoes glow. Hamburgers and shakes to go. V8 dreams, rhythm flow. Saturday night, drag queen race. Tires screeching, twisting space. Wind roars across our face. Boundless speed, hearts embrace. Chromed out bumpers glisten bright. Street lights shadowed blues at night. Radio's rocking stars in sight. We're gonna win this fight tonight. Bright street lights, shadows, blues at night. Radio's rocking stars in sight. Gonna win this fight tonight. Roll through the diner real slow. Grease on our jean shoes glow. Hamburgers and shakes to go. V8 dreams, rhythm flow. Saturday night, drag we race. Tires screeching, twisting space. Wind roars across our face. Boundless speed, hearts embrace. Boundless speed, hearts embrace.
On the blacktop road, Asian nights we pray for more. Driving lights and the jukebox tune. Popped up cars under a crescent moon. My girl in the front seat winks. Cotton candy and sweet soda drinks. Hot rods parked in a crooked line. Gasoline dreams running out of time. Saturday night's a flame that won't die. Gas pedal down, don't ask why. Engines rumble in a steel fight. Clouds of smoke, we meet the night. Big hair filled with rock and blues. Vinyl spins, we ain't got no rules. Drag race dreams, long straight road. Light flashes, thunder low. Oh, my girl in the front seat winks. Cotton candy and sweet soda drink. My girl in the front seat winks. Hopped up cars under crescent moon. My girl in the front seat winks. Cotton candy and sweet soda drink. My girl in the front seat winks. Hopped up cars under a crescent. and sweet soda drinks. Cotton candy and sweet soda drinks. Hot tub cars under crescent moon. My girl in the front seat winks. Cotton candy and sweet soda drinks. Cotton candy and sweet soda drinks. Hot tub cars on an hour at a time. Saturday nights a flame that won't die. Gas pedal down, don't ask why. Engines rumble in a steel fire. Clouds of smoke we meet the night. Thick air filled with rock and blues. Final spins, we ain't got no rules. Drag race dreams, long straight road. Clouds of smoke we meet the night. Thick air filled with rock and blues. Final spins, we ain't got no rules. Drag race spins, we ain't got no rules. Drag race spins, we ain't got no rules. Drag race dreams, long straight roads. Like clouds of smoke we meet the night. Wheels, each a wild beast. My girl's laughter never ceased. Flashing lights, bird speed abound. Cheering crowd makes a roaring sound. Harmonica screams in the night sky. Guitars twang, giving it a try. Drumming hearts under sparkling air. We live fast without a care.
Neon skies, my girl by my side with those dreamy eyes. Driving flicks and popcorn flies. Moonlight beams on a secret tie. Hot rod engines, they scream and roar. Rubber burns on that asphalt floor. Holding tight, she wants more. Speed and love forevermore. Saturday nights, the world feels small. The night until last call. Love and danger, hear the engines call. Spinning wheels until the fall. Hamburgers, fries, and cherry pies. Sunset paints our own skies. Radio tunes and whispered lies. Warm embrace where our love lies. Racing hearts under the stars. Dreams of highways and guitars. Life's a highway, no end in sight. Hold on, baby, it's a wild ride. Tires screech in the cool night air. Young and restless, without a care. Drag strip winners, life's unfair. Kissing her under the moon's glare. In this memory, greased hair, slick chrome shines, drag race days with ribbon lines, windows down, wind in her hair, loving every moment without a care. If engines loud through the night, under stars we're burning bright, racing hearts in the moonlight beam, chasing down our own wild dream. Hamburgers, fries, two shakes on the side, laughing loud in this joyride. A monitor wails from radio's twist, sealed with a lipstick kiss. Smoking rubber on asphalt street, our love's a drag race heartbeat. Crashing waves of passion fire, in this driving we never tire. Red engines loud through the night, under stars we're burning bright. Racing hearts in the moonlight beam, chasing down our own wild dream. Side, laughing loud in this joyride. I'm on at the wheels from radio's twist, sealed with a lipstick kiss. Smoking rubber on asphalt street,
dancing waves of passion fire. In this driving we never tire. Rev engines loud through the night. Under stars we're burning bright. Racing hearts in the moonlight beam, chasing down our own wild dreams. Driving start a teenage dream. Saturday nights with my queen. Neon signs and a movie screen. Leather jacket, jukebox tunes. Old man Chevy under the moon. Chrome shining, we'll be there soon. Pink slip racing like a monsoon. Rag racing on a dead end street. Heartbeats pounding in the heat. My girl, she's my sweet defeat. Driving nights can't be beat. Hamburgers and milkshake love, radio blasting from above. Her smile fits me like a glove. Under stars we rise above. Engine roars, we take the lead. Harmonica's just what we need. Victory smoke, high speed. Saturday night, our time indeed. Drag racing on a dead-end street. Heartbeats pounding in the heat. My girl, she's my sweet defeat. Driving nights can't be beat. And milkshake love, radio blasting from above. Her smile fits me like a glove. Under stars we rise above. Every engine roars, we take the lead. Harmonica's just what we need. Victory smoke, high speed. Saturday night, our time indeed. Drag racing on a dead end street. Heartbeats pounding in the heat. My girl, she's my sweet defeat. Driving nights can't be beat. Driving in flicker lights cut through dust. My girl in satin, we ain't in no rush. Hot rods revving, engines roaring loud. Tires smoking, peel out, breaking through the crowd. Saturday night, Civic glow, red tail light street. Leather jacket dreams ain't for me. Drag strip melodies echo through my mind. Steel horses gallop, leave the past behind. Cruising down the boulevard, stars in our eyes. Gasoline, heartbeat, pulse never dies. We ride the thunder, race through the night. Catching dreams in our rearview light. Neon signs blaze our name in the sky. Moonlit shadows, train tracks rolling by. Heartbeat syncopation.
Guitar. And I said, okay. She was my big sister, and I trusted everything she said. And it was Stranglehold. It was Ted Nugent.
Okay.
And I just sat there, and I was fixated. I was like, this is fucking awesome. And then I thought it would never end, and I didn't want it to. You know, it was really cool. Eleuthera.
Yeah?
Yeah, and that's just a little strip of limestone in the middle of the Caribbean.
Oh, that's cool.
Well, it's actually got the Caribbean on one side and the Atlantic on the other.
Oh, wow. How do you achieve that aside from some kind
I don't know. There's a bridge where the place is super narrow, and there's one bridge where the Atlantic is on one side and the Caribbean is on the other, and there's a completely different color of water.
Oh, that's crazy.
And the water's behaving differently. Everything is different.
That's absolutely nuts. Like, closest I experienced that was the bridge over to the Florida Keys, where the water is purple on one side and kind of green on the other.
Yeah. Similar thing.
Oh, that's crazy. How long were y'all down there?
5 nights.
Ooh.
Just 5 nights. It was just long enough where, you're ready to. We don't usually go out of town very much, maybe for 3 nights or something. But
yeah,
we're both so busy that we're not accustomed to spending longer. So it's pretty nice. But at the same time, you have the sense that things are getting away from you back home or something. So you want to come back.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. Like, you can't go somewhere and just fully relax without being like, you're already starting to think of what it is you need to accomplish on the drive home.
I don't know what that is. Is it American?
I don't think it's just American, because here in Germany they have quite the work ethic as well. I think it's we're just, I suppose, as a society, kind of trained to not be able to relax.
I think so, but don't the Italians and the French and the Spanish, they all know how to kick back and relax. It just seems like we're uptight, and the British are uptight and work too much. And now you mentioned the Germans, that makes sense.
Like, German is a very business-oriented language. If you want your company to thoroughly succeed, hire a German. I think maybe it seems that the countries that have the more romantic languages maybe are the ones that take it the easiest, if you think about it.
That's what I was getting at, yeah. And from what I have been able to figure out, well, there's a couple of schools of thought on English, and people say it's Germanic, but I think that's been a default assumption. I'm not an expert, but I've been checking out some stuff about it, and they say it's actually behaves like a Scandinavian language, not like German, and as far as grammar and syntax and stuff.
Well, it's interesting because as far as German goes, words are gendered. It's so strange.
Yeah, French is that way too. All the Romance languages have that, and we've gotten rid of that. And I don't know how did we get rid of it and see through it?
From what I've discovered from my research is that a big part of, especially even the South, it comes from certain areas of Britain, and as time went, and I suppose the accent got more Americanized, it became less sounding like, honest to God, British and slower, and then the drawl kind of came in because you can hear where certain words, come from when you hear, a southern drawl. You can hear where the little bit of British accent is in it.
Mm-hmm. Maybe that's why the British actors are very good at doing the Southern scenes.
Maybe. For some reason, all the American actors have to act British, especially if they're any time, past, 1990.
Yeah.
It's like, but this movie takes place in the 70s. Do the British accent. Okay, fine. Fuck.
Yeah. That's funny. It takes getting used to, when I studied French, to get used to the dividing everything into male and female. I just wasn't used to that, but thought, what a nuisance,
Well, the thing is that also the gender of the item also, determines the syntax for the rest of the sentence too.
Yeah.
Especially if it's plural.
Yeah, if it's plural and feminine, there's going to be a lot more letters.
So, man, you was telling me that work's been going good. CARR amplifiers, yeah?
Yeah.
Dude, tell me about it. What's up? I never really got the lowdown behind them.
Well, it's very small. It's maybe 8 or 9 of us, maybe 5 full-time people, and maybe 5 part-time, I think, various ones. A couple of guys only come in 2 days a week. There's, I think, 3 guys that come in only 2 days a week, you know, and they have little specialty things they do, and then they get out. And but I'm there every day, and Steve CARR, the guy that owns it, and he's owned it. He started it back in '98 or '99.
Yeah.
And I met him in '99. He fixed an amplifier of mine. It was a JCM 800. We were passing through, and actually we lived here by then. But I was introduced by a mutual friend, and he was still repairing amps and building his own, like kind of doing both. And he eventually was able to stop repairing everybody else's stuff and just focus on building his own. And then fast forward about 5 years, and then I was working for him. And that was 18 years ago. I've been there a long time.
It's just, it's so cool to know that that sort of boutique amplifier is still, you know, not only in demand, but also made with such love. I'm sure that, you know, you did a lot of time on the road before you came off the road, you know, so I'm sure you were able to put your input in when it came to being like, this is what a road amp needs. This is how hard solid it needs to be.
Yeah, it's funny. He already had that all figured out, and that was his goal, was aiming it at working musicians. Not, I mean, it's funny the way it has worked out is the way a lot of things do. It's totally different than what you planned, but a lot of our clientele is sort of the blues doctors and blues lawyers, you know.
Right.
They're not really touring or playing or recording. You know, they're just kind of getting off, you know, and that's great. But and that keeps the ship afloat. But he was right off the bat making stuff kind of overbuilt just so it would last. And there's dovetailed joints on the cabinet work. It's all. Recently we switched to a multi-ply. I can't remember how many plywood. But we were doing white pine and yellow pine for years, all North Carolina pine. And actually, most of the amps that we still produce are still done in pine. It's just only been the last, I think, 3 models we put out, 2 models or 3 models we put out in plywood, just to make them a little lighter. That's the other thing we're finding out is our clientele is getting old.
I think we all are.
Yeah.
Well, what got you off the road? I know that you toured pretty heavy there in your band Jack Black. God, I love listening to that band. But you toured pretty heavy, and
well, we hit a point where we were sort of treading water. We made a move from New York to North Carolina.
Yeah.
And we were doing well. We were doing really well in the South, all through the South. We did well. And we did well out in the Midwest. And we did well in New York City, but we didn't do well anywhere around New York City. It was like we couldn't get a gig before we got to Baltimore. And we didn't do well up in Boston and places like that. It just never kind of took. And so the plan was to move to the South, and then we'd been. So if you live in New York, you have to gather up all 3 guys in the van, get all your shit in there, and then once you're all in the same van, then you got to set your sights on getting out of the city.
Yeah,
you know, and that's a whole nother trip. And then once you get out of the city, then you got 8 hours to drive, you know, to get to a friendly town. So we thought, why don't we just move to where all the friendly towns are if we're serious about this, and then we'll pay less rent in North Carolina. We won't be sweating that New York City rent. And then, you know, you can leave the van loaded. The interstate is nearby, so are a bunch of cities that you can play. So we were looking at it like that. And the guy whose idea it was the drummer. And he once it got down to it, he chickened out and decided he was staying in New York. And so the bass player and I moved. And then we picked up a drummer fortuitously down here that was really good drummer, and we didn't miss a beat. So we kept going, and after a while, we were treading water, and we were just like, getting a little long in the tooth to be doing the same thing and sleeping on people's floors and stuff like that. That's for a man in his 20s there. I was already in my mid-30s. So, and our drummer sort of bailed on us, the last drummer. So we still had some tour gigs lined up. So we got this other guy, and we also had a European tour lined up. And we didn't want to throw in the towel or anything, so we wanted to hit that European tour and see what would happen. So we just held on and went to do the European tour, and we had a ball doing that. And we were over there for a month, I guess. And then I came back here, knowing that the band was pretty much over, and also I was getting married in 3 weeks after that. So then I got married right away, and then Charity joined her own band, Jimmy and the Teasers.
Right. And I remember, first Heavy Rebel I went to, I mean, obviously we have to cover that.
Mm-hmm.
The first Heavy Rebel I went to, I remember seeing Jimmy and the Teasers and just being like, this band they look like they're having so much fun. And that was first off, I have to say, thanks for creating Heavy Rebel. There's been Rhodes Diablo on here. There's been Natalie Mustang. There's been a couple other cats that just, they were like, when you gonna get Dave on there? Because, we so much of us got a chance to see so much stuff and to get to play in front of such good people because of that festival, and thank you so much. What lightning hit your brain to make you be like, I need to do this?
It was at the time when my band, like I said, I just gotten back from Europe in November 1st or something, and I was married November 24th.
That's my birthday.
All right, cool. And then we immediately, you're in the holidays and all that. And then, so the holidays had cleared out. And then I think I was on the verge of, I just done Elvisfest. It was January. It's one of the first Elvisfests.
Yeah, Elvisfest. Or the second one. And Sleazefest came before Heavy Rebel, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sleazefest was a 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, and maybe 2000. And Jack Black played Sleazefests 96, 7, 8, and 9, I think. And or maybe 7, 8, 9, I can't remember. But we played 3 or 4 of them. And but watching the condensing of bands and of music and of the mixing of styles was really nice. The way that they put it together, it didn't seem to pay any attention to all those lines in the sand.
Yeah.
That don't matter because they're not in your record collection. It's all mixed together, Mm-hmm. But so I just, I didn't have the idea. We had just come off of Elvisfest, and Charity had just joined Jimmy and the Teasers. And I think this was February of 2001, yeah. And I was at the Millennium Center because that's where the gig was. It was in the underground. So we drove all the way to Winston, and we're hanging out. It's cold, and it's a weird turnabout because I'm the guy with the band for all these years, and all of a sudden here I am with no gig. My wife's got a gig, but I don't. So I'm sitting there, wondering what to do with myself. And it's a Jimmy and the Teasers and She-Bang and some other band. I can't remember. And Mike Martin was putting the show on, and he had access to the place because Greg Carlisle owned it, and he also was Mike's landlord because Mike had an auto body shop around the corner, and Greg owned that building as well. So that's how he knew Greg. And Greg was renting that place out, and Mike said, "Man, I can get this place." And I said, "What are you talking about?" He said, "I want to do a show, and I can get this place." I said, you can get this fucking place? And he said, yeah. And I said, well, we got a show, buddy. I said, I can get the bands. And he said, I said, well, I'll tell you what, we got to hang it on something. If we're going to do it this year, we got to hang it on something. Let's hang it on the 4th of July. Let's make it American as hell. Let's call it Heavy Rebel Weekend, or I said, I got another one in my hip pocket. We could call it Thunderball, which I liked, but I figured that would get shortened to T-ball and it would sound stupid. But
yeah, or people think of a James Bond movie.
Yeah, which I thought was cool. I like that song. But it was Heavy Rebel. So it was okay, 4th of July, Heavy Rebel. We're not going to have any Confederate imagery. We're going to have pictures of American rebels, like music rebels. That's who it's referring to. Yeah. The ones that turned over all the shit and just tilled the earth for us, And we also said, we shook hands. We said, look, if we lose money, we're going to split that debt 50-50. If we make money, we're going to split that profit 50-50. And that's just how it's going to be the rest of the time. And we just shook hands and started getting to work. And as we only had 2 stages in the day that we shook hands. And then a couple of weeks later, after I was calling bands and getting a lot of responses, we came up with that 3rd stage. I didn't know it was down in there, the jailhouse. Yeah. And I hadn't been in there that far, but so by opening, we had 3 stages, and I just figured, well, I'll rotate them like I do with Elvisfest, and to rotate the schedule anyway, so people can catch a little bit of everything if they want to. And it was more like a curiosity. People, it wasn't highly attended or anything, but the people that went all came back, and brought people with them the next time. And so the second year, the first 2 years, I think it lost money. I think the 3rd year it broke even to pay. Everything was we were walked away not owing anybody anything for the first time. And then the 4th year and the 5th year, I think we finally started making a profit, and being able to sort of get back to zero in a sense, in the long view. And it just kind of went from there. We would throw in different events in the middle of it. People were getting married there. I think people did everything but get divorced there. But
yeah, I played during a wedding, and you come up with such great ideas, like banana pudding eating contest, obviously beer drinking contest, and then there was. What I really liked was, for example, like the slap down or the guitar competition. It was just a chance for, people to get up there and, kind of do their thing, and then give the crowd a show, and maybe get to play with other players they normally wouldn't get to.
Yeah, and the point was, to sort of condense this scene or distill it. Mm-hmm. And all these bands that didn't have a regular place to play. They're sort of like misfit bands in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I can't describe it better.
And that's like, I purposely didn't book any blues or country or jazz or hip hop or metal. You know what I mean? Because those places rule the world. Those genres, they're the big sellers, and they always have a place to play. And not jazz so much, but you know what I mean? It was like I wanted to just keep it to anything sort of punk or rockabilly or just straight up rock and roll or honky tonk.
Bands that aren't afraid to get loud, and bands that aren't afraid to look different than the crowd.
Yeah, until they got to Heavy Rebel and they realized they're playing for their people. It was so cool, man.
Exactly.
It's like a homecoming. That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
Every year.
It's
like a family reunion, but it's people you like, and you're not. It's not some uncle that molested you. It's just,
just awkward Thanksgiving.
It's like a joyous occasion.
And I mean, everything from, people getting to bring their hot rods to, mud wrestling, fireworks at the
they got to bring their sort of full flower personalities.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
but where they couldn't probably, it's sort of like everybody lives in the closet that's in this Loserville scene. Not the gay closet so much as just like the closet. You know, you can't show your tattoos or whatever at your job, or you work at the bank or whatever. And it's like they saved up all year and came to Heavy Rebel to just blow that shit out.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And to say, this is the real me. I'm tattooed. I'm drunk. I'm rocking the fuck out to this band. And I don't give a damn. I know I'm going to do the same thing tomorrow, you know?
Yeah, we got a whole weekend of, and then, you know, of course, the after parties and the jams and stuff. I mean, that's some of the most legendary parts of all of it. I mean, you getting to see the bands throughout the day. And I was talking with Natalie, and we was talking that one of the best parts about Heavy Rebel is the stairs leading from upstairs to downstairs, because you're always curious who you were going to pass.
That's right. And I always tell people, in that narrow stairway, you got the truth about Heavy Rebel. Because what would happen would be some guy, you know, that's wearing a cowboy hat bumps into some guy who's wearing a mohawk, beer gets spilled, and they're both apologizing. That was my fault. I'm going to buy you a beer. No, I'm buying you a beer. It's that kind of crowd. It's not like, motherfucker, you mohawk motherfucker. You know, it's not like, they recognize each other, even though they're dressed differently, but they say, we're still on the same team, so to speak, of just digging this rock and roll scene, you know?
It's like,
a lot of people came there. We never had fights, really. You know, it wasn't that kind of a thing. Some places, events, somebody's always fighting, you know? It's not really happening until somebody starts to fight, you know? But with Heavy Rebel, it was sort of self-policing.
Yeah.
Once in a while, some people from another town rolled up against some other people from that same town that they didn't like, and they brought a beef with them. You know what I mean? But mostly we squashed all that. And you know, I knew the bands knew. You know, if you start a fight, I'm not booking you again. You know?
Yeah.
So they had a stake in it, and they all wanted to come back for the most part. I mean, the money wasn't good, but we never had sponsors, so it was kind of tough to.
You know, one thing that you might say that the money wasn't good, but you made sure that the bands got paid. That was a thing. Like, nobody was trying to have to hunt you down. Like, you were there, you made sure that the bands got taken care of. And, you know, I mean, you'd try to comp them beers and, you know, as much as you possibly could.
Yeah, and in Greg's world, yeah, he had the beer strings, but yeah, he would hook us up with a little bit of just enough of a deal every year where we could hook up the bands, you know. So it was like, all right, cool. That's all we cared about. I don't even drink, you know, so I didn't want it. But it was a hell of a party every year, man. And yeah, it's it got. The last year, though, it was we had an unfortunate incident where a bunch of equipment got stolen.
No.
On Saturday night. Yeah, this was back in 19. This is the last full Heavy Rebel we did, and we came in Sunday morning, and the main soundboard desk was gone.
What?
Somebody stole the whole desk. Yeah, 2 desks were gone, and some other shit. And eventually all that got sorted out, but and the stuff got returned. It was stolen and wound up in a pawn shop. And it wasn't a band. It wasn't anybody that had to do with Heavy Rebel. It was this drunk manager that night. He got drunk and was trying to party with the Heavy Rebel crowd, and people saw that and came in and took advantage while he was passed out drunk. So anyway, I don't dwell on that, but that sort of put a damper on things because we wound up owing money for that equipment. And, so we, you know, and then within, I guess 7 or 8 months, by that March, everything was shut down. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, it made no sense to try and do it. And then 21, it didn't make any sense. And 22. And then again, this year, it's like, people are you going to do it? No, man, you can't get a running start at anything because everything keeps changing. And it wasn't a strong enough event, like attendance-wise, to just wing it and go, well, we'll be all right. You know what I mean? You really, it's a sort of a niche market, you know, and those people have to be in a place where they can come attend without worrying about their jobs and stuff. And everybody's been, you know, tense and worried for the last couple of years.
Yeah, I totally get it. I think that we got to experience it when it was really good, and there's no point in, you know, it's like no need to make a 7th Indiana Jones movie. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm like, you know, I don't want Led Zeppelin to get together again. I love them too much to want to see that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah. It's like it's just you know.
It's like I was in Atlanta. We were on tour one time in '97, and Link Ray was at the Star Bar, and we were at the yacht club around the corner or something. And I didn't want to go because I love him too much, and I didn't want to be disappointed. But then later, a couple years later, we got the gig opening for him in Atlanta, and man, it was so awesome. I mean, I got to meet him, and he hugged us, and he was great. He was awesome, and I was so glad. But I was afraid, you know, I was afraid to see my heroes like decrepit and unable to deliver it. But he delivered everything. Holy shit!
He brought it right to the end. I mean, shit.
He really did.
I mean, shit, you did too. I mean, you still do. I love watching you play. I fucking remember when I drove 90 miles per hour in one day down to Sub for a gig for you.
Yeah, man, you were still in the Navy.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
I had the day off, and he was like, "Man, my bass player didn't show up," and I'm like, "How far away are you?"
It was a birthday party for a friend of mine. And I was like, well, shit, no bass player. And you're like, you know, if I can see your hands, I can probably cover all that. I'm like, all right. And you did.
Yeah, man, that was a great version of Caravan.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we do that now in my Snake River Canyon band. We do that song.
Yeah, I did that with the Stompers when we were together doing that stuff too. You were learning swing guitar there for a hot minute. You still doing that?
Not really. I would like somebody, you know, I'm the kind of guy that I sort of need to sit across from somebody and see what the fuck they're doing a couple of times, and as well as hear it, you know. And I was doing pretty good after you turned me on to those play along things, and then my sound card died in my computer, so I was sitting there in front of YouTube, and then there was no sound. So
it's dreadful.
Sort of. What?
I said that's dreadful.
Oh, I know. Yeah, it sucks. It still hasn't come on. That was a year ago. But I've been watching it out in my TV room, which is where I am now. But yeah, I instead of pursuing that, I realized what I wanted to do was sing the stuff.
Yeah.
I still like to play it, but I thought, let me get on this singing it. And so I put the band together, the jazz band. And that's been going really well. And it's just guitar, bass, drums, and saxophone and vocals.
Yeah, just a little combo.
Yeah, it's like, I call it like, I don't know, 2 a.m. last call versions of classic love songs, you know.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, and then we pick it up and do some swinging stuff and some stuff for the dancing crowd, little foxtrots and whatnot. But
I doubt you get to.
But you know, I get to call the shots. I get to sing whatever I want. I'm adding the songs. I'm taking the songs out. I let the drummer call the set, you know, because I don't want to think about it. But you know, I'll just skip over something if I'm not ready for it or whatever. But we're doing A Shadow of Your Smile. We're doing Everybody Loves Somebody Sometime. You know, I'm not doing Volare and Ain't That a Kick in the Head, sort of novelty stuff. You know, I'm sticking more to the love song stuff.
Gotcha.
The stuff that doesn't get the airplay, you know, but it's great shit.
Yeah, it's like the D side.
Yeah, it's the bedroom side of pop music.
Yeah, I guess that would be the D side.
Yeah, we're big on Valentine's Day. I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah, I imagine.
But then the other band, I get to rock out, and there's no singing. It's just a trio, and I'm playing guitar. And again, I get to pick the songs. If I didn't write it, then selected it, you know, and so I only do what I do what I can handle. You know, I'm not getting too ambitious, but it's fun. It's fun again to be in a trio like it was in Jack Black and be the only guitar player and not have to worry about the singing. And then the challenge is, as a musician, how do I make this band interesting to the audience if there's no singer?
Right.
And so far we've been doing well with that. People seem to really dig it. And we're doing, like, we'll do the theme from Bullet, you know, Steve McQueen movie.
Yeah,
or
yeah,
we'll do
yeah.
Booker T and the MGs, Time is Tight, or we do Hang 'em High by Booker T and the MGs. And people can't figure out where they've heard it before. They're like, what the fuck is this song? Or we'll do the Beatles' Cry for a Shadow. Nobody's doing that, you know, just like kind of strange stuff. There's a lot of Link Ray and stuff like that, and Evan Johns and H-Bombs.
Like stuff you want to do, so you're gonna do it, and if they like it, hey, that's awesome. You get to pull that beautiful left-handed Evil Knievel telly out.
Yeah.
I love that thing. When did you get that?
Oh gosh, this must be 15 years ago. I was in a band technically that I'm still in called the Poon Hounds, and that's out of Raleigh. Jack Kane from he used to be at the brewery in Raleigh. He was a sound man. He was a fixture there for a decade at least, and then he's at the Poorhouse in Raleigh now. He's been there for about 15 years. And anyway, the Poon Hounds, oh man, we were like, I don't know, we were sort of like if Ted Nugent was a punk. You know?
Okay.
And with a ZZ Top thrown in, you know, for the groove. And it was just a hard rocking band. 2 guitar players, a bass and drums. So it was like Jack Black with another guitar player.
Okay.
And so the other guitar player was Stike. He's got a company that you need to know about called Rock Out With Your Cock Out.
Fantastic.
Or in acronym, it's ROECO, because that's what it's, you know, take the first letter of every one of those words. So ROECO is a guitar finishing company that he started, and he's a guitar painter. So whatever you want, the sparklier the better, he can do it. And so he said, Dave, what do you want? We need matching guitars. And he says, I'm thinking Telecasters. And I said, okay. He goes, what's the theme? Now, he already had a Strat that he had decked out in the South of the Border theme. You ever been there?
Oh, yeah, I love that joint. Did it ever recover from the flood?
I think so. But he had put the Pedro character on this thing. He painted it black. He had You Never Sausage a Guitar Sausage. You know,
that's amazing.
Those stupid billboards they had. And the fret markers, instead of dots, they were I-95 shields, you know, like the highway.
Oh, wow.
And so he knew what he was doing. And I said, man, what we need is a couple of matching Evil Knievel Telecasters. And he's like, fuck, yeah, that's great. And he's right-handed and I'm left-handed, so they were pointing the opposite ways so it could look really cool, you know. And so he said, how do you want it? I said, I want 3 P90s with chrome covers and a ebony fretboard. And he said, all right, you got it. And then he made his, I think he did a single mini humbucker or something in his, but otherwise they were identical. And I guess he still got his. I hadn't seen it in a while. But yeah, I'm not doing anything with mine. I'm gonna keep that thing.
That's one of the coolest ever, I swear. Like the first time I saw that, I was like, oh, and you know, you play left-handed too, so you know it's got that much more appeal to it. At the same time, it's like, oh, damn, that is hot.
And I just bought a CARR amp. Funny enough, I worked there, but I bought a Telstar, and that's one that's been out for about 5 years. But I just couldn't take it anymore. I had to have one, and it feels indulgent because I've got probably 5 amps now, but. You know how it is.
Oh, yeah, I know how it is. What was the stuff that really turned you on when you first picked up the guitar?
Funny enough, I've already mentioned him I was living in Okinawa. I was 10 years old, and my sister took me aside. My older sister, she was into rock and roll and drugs and sex and everything way before I was. So she told me about everything I needed to know. And she sort of blazed the trail and everything. And so she took me aside and had this little tabletop recorder, and she said, I want to play this for you. This is rock and roll guitar. And I said, okay. She was my big sister, and I trusted everything she said. And it was Stranglehold. It was Ted Nugent.
Okay.
And I just sat there, and I was fixated. I was like, this is fucking awesome. And then I thought it would never end, and I didn't want it to. You know, it was really cool. And so in that same year, I got over in Okinawa, everything was bootlegged and stuff. So I got a bootleg cassette of Led Zeppelin, the fourth album, you know, with Stairway and Black Dog. Yeah. And I remember putting that on, and that same tabletop recorder, hitting play and listening to Black Dog, going, what the fuck? This is fucking great. And up until then, I was listening to the Beach Boys and John Denver and bullshit that my other sister heard, all this pop stuff. But that got me on the guitar. And then, you know, I mean, people don't, he's not popular. I'm talking about Ted Nugent. He's very unpopular with his positions on everything political, but I don't give a fuck. It's the guitar playing that I heard when I was
first
the
time
age of 10 to about 13. He came out with the double live Gonzo. Everybody had a live album. Skinner had a live. We had them all. My older sister had them all. And we listened to Frampton. We listened to Skinner. We listened to Zeppelin. We listened to Ted Nugent. And that Ted Nugent shit, I tell you, man, we had been through so much family shit up until that point that I was, I guess, just supremely fucking angry.
Yeah.
And when I heard his guitar playing, I recognized that he was supremely fucking angry too. Uh-huh. And I was like, I can do something with this. Wasn't thinking that clearly, you know, but I knew I wanted to play the guitar. I knew that was where it was for me.
Yeah.
And before that, it was like sixth grade. We're back in the States. Time to join band. What are you playing? Well, you can't play guitar, so I played alto sax. And did that for about 4 years. But in the meantime, I kept sniffing around the guitar till I got one around 8th or 9th grade or something, and started trying to learn it. But yeah, it was really down to that era of 70s hard rock. And of course that led me to the Stones and the whole world of blues. And that just stopped me. I was stuck in the blues for a long time. Just like I was in a library, you know, and I just listening to them, recording them all in my head, just going, okay, that's what Mississippi John Hurt sounds like. That's what Hank Snow sounds like when you get in the country and stuff. So, because it all led me to the rockabilly, the country.
Right.
I felt like I wasn't happy till I knew all of it, you know. And and in the meantime, you know, I had the rock and roll band, Jack Black. Before that, I had a rockabilly band. After that, I was in a honky tonk band. After that, I was in a Elvis, Johnny Cash style, no drums band called the Swang Brothers for about 10 years. And as soon as that was done, I started singing the jazz stuff. So I just keep moving through the stuff I like the most, you know, and trying to learn. And, you know, and then the Snake River Band, we're writing stuff. And so I get to get my rocks off that way too. And then working at CARR amps, it's like, man, I'm
kind of a kid in a candy store when it comes to any sort of creative outlet that you need.
You're right. It's, you know, I got to keep reminding myself of that. I know I got a great job, man. I've never the day I got hired was October 4th, 2004. I'll never forget it. And I couldn't believe it. I was like, this is so awesome. I'm never leaving this place. And Steve was saying, I'm kind of looking for somebody for about, you know, thinking 5 years. I was like, hey, not a problem. now it's 18 years.
Apparently something's going right.
Mm-hmm.
And you have a beautiful family.
Thank you. Yes, that is I'm very lucky on that count. My wife worked for a state-run organization that kept care for. They had different houses around, monitored by the state, that were resident houses for people who were just messed up, like autistic or blind or both, or all kinds of permutations of handicap.
Yeah, people need living assistance, kind of thing.
She was so in that world when I met her, and I kind of got to know some of these kids and adults and stuff, that when we started having kids, when she got pregnant, I was like, well, I already know what's going to happen. She's so ready, like trained and all that. We're going to get a challenged kid of some kind. You know what I mean? I was just ready. I was readying myself for it, because I thought, well, that's cool. If anybody can handle it, we can. And then that didn't happen. We got a perfect kid, and then we got another perfect kid, and I felt kind of guilty. But I also blessed as hell, man. I mean, my kids are really cool. One of them is playing the drums in a rock band. She's got a talent show next week, and she's in a band called, let me think of the name. Hold on, the Pathogens. And
that's when you know you're a good supportive dad, is because you know your kid's band name.
And she's playing drums in that, and she can play. And at school in the marching band, she plays trombone and bass trombone. And she just recently, her sister plays clarinet. She's in the 7th grade. And so I got her sister an alto sax, thinking she might like that. That's what I started with. And she didn't seem to care for it, but the older one grabbed it and started honking away on it, and then finally announced that she wanted a tenor sax, so we got her one for Christmas. So she plays drums, trombone, and tenor sax. The younger one is left-handed, so she plays my guitars and her own guitar and clarinet. I told her, you have to play the guitar or you have to live somewhere else.
You have to be able.
She's already got all the guitars. She doesn't have to spend a dime on gear,
Oh, yeah. I mean, she's got everything she could ever want. Good thing she's left-handed.
She'll get the Knievel caster,
Oh, man. That's so cool. Dave, thank you so much for coming on, man. This has been a pleasure.
Me too. And if you ever want to do it again, or any other sort of slant, and we can do video if you want, whatever. It'd be fun.
I got some plans in the future for some things, and it's good to know that you'd be on board.
Totally. Yeah.
Say hello.
All right, brother.
Yeah, say hello to Charity and the kids, and thanks for your time. It's been great.
Hey, thanks for doing what you're doing. It's really important that you keep doing this.
Well, there's a lot of really cool people with a lot of really cool stuff to say. Exactly.
And you're a good guy for pulling it out of them. It's good.
It's just a cheap excuse to talk to interesting people.
It's all in how you frame it.
I guess so. Take care of yourself, Dave.
All right, Skip. See you, man.
See you, buddy. All right. That'll be all for today. Remember, peace, love throughout the world, and don't forget to rock and roll.